This is an exam question about chemical communication in flowering plants, and it's about the mobilisation of food reserves in the germination of cereal grains such as barley and wheat. And it says figure 6.1 shows some of the principal features associated with food reserve mobilisation in a cereal grain. So food reserve, that's going to be starch, stored glucose. Mobilisation means that we're freeing up the glucose. So we're turning starch to glucose for the plant to be able to use. If you look at figure 6.1 then, we've got the embryo, the growing part of the seed. We've got the endosperm, where the starch is going to be stored. We've got the aleurone layer, and then we've got a series of arrows, steps 1, 2 and 3. And the question says, with reference to 6.1, describe the process indicated by the numbered arrows on the diagram. And we've got the numbers 1, 2 and 3, where we've got to explain what's going on. So, stage 1 is something being released from the embryo into the endosperm and then entering the aleurone layer. So, the chemical that's being released from the embryo is a plant hormone, and that's called gibberellin. And that's the plant hormone that's involved in seed germination. So that's released from the embryo, and it diffuses into the aleurone layer. So that's what's happening at number 1. Number 2, the aleurone layer is then giving off something else. And what the gibberellin does is it triggers enzyme production in the aleurone layer. So we've got enzyme production triggered by gibberellin, and that enzyme will be amylase, you could write carbohydrates, and there may be other enzymes like lipases and proteases where you've got stored lipids and proteins in the endosperm. Those enzymes then, you can see, are entering the endosperm. So the enzymes enter the endosperm, and they will then break down or hydrolyze starch. And that'll turn the starch, be broken down to glucose. That's a simple soluble substance. So then number 3, simple soluble substances, e.g. glucose, diffuse into the embryo for its use in, for example, aerobic respiration. So that's the steps, what's going on in terms of the chemical communication in flowering plants to cause seed germination. The enzyme that's released is gibberellin. that diffuses into the aileron layer. It triggers gibberellin the production of enzymes, for example amylase. The enzymes enter the endosperm where there's stored starch. They break down or hydrolyze starch to glucose, and then those simple soluble substances like glucose will then diffuse into the embryo and be used for processes like aerobic respiration.